52 years in public service. I've had enough. I want to go. He added, if I resign today, there will be chaos. I was very unhappy about yesterday. I do not want to see Egyptians fighting each other. The continuing violence, the hatred and bitterness on the streets has caused international alarm. The New York Times is reporting American officials are discussing with the Egyptians the immediate resignation of President Mubarak and how that may play out. That there will be a huge protest in Egypt on Friday is without doubt. If it will be peaceful, no one really knows. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera.
There you go. So interesting to hear from President Mubarak the first time through that interview that he's saying he's fed up. You'd have to suggest that a lot of these people in the square would say they're fed up as well. They don't want him there anymore. Maybe they'll be buoyed by what they're hearing from him, but of course the knowledge that he's not in any hurry to go anywhere. We'll be looking much later this year that Hosni Mubarak would no longer be president. Meanwhile, all these people, not all these people, but a good number of these people in Liberation Square want him gone. With us from London today, Armani Solomon. She's a Middle East analyst staying with us for the next few hours, and we do appreciate having you with us, Armani, to talk through what looks like it'll be another extraordinary historic day, not to get too over the top, but it looks like it will be like that again. A week ago, we had no idea what was coming. What's your thoughts on what might come today?
Well, let me tell you, there's been a lot of speculation that it might get quite nasty today, given that a lot of the foreign correspondence and international media has been taken off Tahrir Square to a large extent. Cameras have been smashed, reporters harassed. So this is a tactic that is widely known in the region for preparation of when things, if things get nasty, that it's not recorded, there are no witnesses outside Egypt. So this is a big worry, and it's certainly resonating throughout the social media, both within people in Egypt and outside. So that is one scenario. We hope it does not get to that, because those people on the ground, the protesters, we're expecting these numbers to swell quite rapidly and significantly, similar to last Friday. They know that they have the support of a lot of people throughout the world, be it international world leaders or ordinary people from different countries in the world, not only the Arab region. Of course, the impact that they have been having on Arab politics is key. It's very significant. We have seen changes in Jordan, in Yemen, more recently even in Algeria, which abolished the state of emergency, which has been around for years, just a few days ago. So they know that they're playing a very big part in Arab history, in Arab politics. We expect that Arab politics will be reshaped and redrawn from Egypt now, following this people's revolution, if you can call it that.
There's still something to be said as well, isn't there, Armani, for the way these people in Liberation Square are undeterred. They have seen violence in the last week that they never thought they would have seen, I'm sure, particularly when the pro-Mubarak supporters came out. And even though the numbers were down yesterday, look at them today, right up there again.
Yes, it's interesting that at one point, certainly I noticed that there was a lot of pro-Mubarak sentiment growing throughout Egypt. And this was following, of course, his very emotional address to the nation, in which he said, I was born here, I've lived here, and I want to die here. And that touched many people's hearts. And speaking to family and friends back in Egypt, the tone had changed slightly in a way in which people were saying, well, enough is enough. The message of these protesters has been delivered. Our lives have come to a standstill. We want to go back to our everyday business. We want life to return to normal in Egypt. Of course, Egypt the economy is hemorrhaging heavily, and everybody understands that. We've seen millions of tourists leave the country in the last day, in the last few days, and this is Egypt relies heavily, of course, on the tourism industry. It's one of its main. It's one of the main incomes that comes into Egypt. So, of course, a main source of income. So, with that, virtually paralyzed. The country itself, the infrastructure is almost paralyzed. People are at home. There are no banks, no schools, no universities. No one is doing anything. Everyone is at home watching TV. So people became a bit fed up, and those who were supportive of the protesters in the beginning of the week had started slightly changing their position and calling for them to go home. However, following the violence that erupted on Tahrir Square and the release of these thugs/criminals who, again, it is widely known in Egypt and for observers of Egypt that this is, again, a tactic, and these people are used a lot by the regime in Egypt, by the Ministry of the Interior.
Okay, Amani.
By the National Democratic Party.
I'm going to jump in there because I do want to have a look at some other material just now, but of course we've got you with us in London and we will come back to you for more analysis later. Want to turn to a little bit of politics because we heard in Alan Fisher's report not long ago about what President Mubarak was saying. We've also